You may not realize it, but narcissists hide dark truths behind why they leave their victims in chaos. They thrive on confusion, manipulation, and control, often leaving a trail of emotional wreckage in their wake. So, why do they do this? Well, it all comes down to power. Narcissists use chaos as a tool to maintain dominance, keeping their victims off balance and emotionally tangled. Their actions are part of a calculated strategy to ensure their victims stay stuck, unsure, and struggling to make sense of what just happened. Let's dive into the twisted reasons behind this pattern and how it leaves people lost in a whirlwind of emotional turmoil. Are you ready for number 1? Fueling their ego. Narcissists thrive in chaos because it feeds their ego like nothing else. Have you ever noticed how narcissists create chaos and then just watch you scramble? For them, your pain and confusion are like a buffet for their ego. They feed off your distress, and it makes them feel more powerful, superior, and in control. It's like they get a boost every time they see you lost, questioning yourself, or even pleading for answers. The chaos isn't just a byproduct of their actions, it's the point. According to Dr. Linda Martinez-Luai, a licensed psychotherapist specializing in narcissistic abuse, narcissists feed on emotional chaos because it reinforces their inflated sense of self-worth. It's like you become a mirror of their distorted self-image, and as long as you're in pain, they feel validated. In their world, your suffering is a form of supply, a way to maintain their sense of superiority. The more you doubt yourself, the more they sit back, smirking, feeling in control. So if you're stuck in this cycle, remember that it's not about you. It's all about feeding their bottomless need for admiration and control. Let's talk about number 2. Fear of losing control. Narcissists seem to stir the pot when things are going too smoothly. That's because they're terrified of losing control. When they lose control, they create chaos to regain dominance. It's like a power play designed to remind you who's in charge, even if it means hurting you in the process. Psychologist Dr. George Simon says narcissists are addicted to control and will do anything to regain it when they sense a shift. They'll disrupt everything to bring you back under their terms. They can't stand the idea of someone being emotionally free of their influence. In a way, their fear of losing control is what drives them to keep you hooked. If they can't control you, they'll control your emotions by keeping you in a constant state of turmoil. And in that chaos, they maintain their sense of superiority. Let's move on to number 3. No accountability. Narcissists often hurt you and act like nothing happened because they don't believe they need to be accountable for their actions. They'll leave you in emotional turmoil, but they won't bat an eye about the damage they've caused. You're stuck cleaning up the mess while they walk away without a second thought. Psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a well-known expert on narcissism, explains that narcissists don't have the capacity for genuine remorse because they're so focused on preserving their self-image. This lack of accountability is a big reason why you feel like you're stuck in a never-ending emotional roller coaster. It's infuriating because, in their eyes, they're never wrong. While you're left wondering what went wrong, they move on as if nothing happened, free from the weight of guilt or remorse. It's all about their need to stay untouchable and above reproach, while you're left picking up the pieces. Now, let's continue to number 4. Sense of entitlement. Narcissists can't handle being told no or being rejected because they believe they deserve to be adored and served. In their mind, they're special, and everyone else should recognize that. When they feel ignored, they'll cause chaos to regain control. It's almost like a temper tantrum, but on a much more manipulative level. Psychologist Dr. Jean M. Twenge, author of The Narcissism Epidemic, explains that narcissists feel entitled to admiration and respect, and can't tolerate even the smallest hint of rejection. They expect the world to revolve around them, and any sign that it doesn't is seen as a personal attack. So, to protect their fragile ego, they'll stir things up, turning even the smallest slight into a full-blown crisis. Their goal is to remind everyone they're in charge and deserve all the attention and control. You shouldn't miss number 5. Cycle of trauma bonding. Why do you keep going back to someone who hurts you? If you're asking yourself that, it's likely you're caught in a trauma bond. Narcissists are masters at creating this kind of unhealthy attachment. They'll abandon you, then come back with just enough affection or charm to pull you back in. It's a roller coaster of highs and lows that keeps you hooked. Psychologist Dr. Patrick Carnes, an expert on trauma bonding, explains that this cycle of intermittent reinforcement creates confusion and deep emotional dependency. The narcissist knows exactly how to reel you back in by offering moments of affection that feel real. It makes it harder for you to break free. Each time they come back, your brain starts to believe that maybe this time they'll change. This cycle of abandonment and re-engagement lean into thinking that their love or affection is something you have to earn or fight for. The cycle of being let down and then briefly validated creates a bond that's hard to break. It takes time, self-awareness, and healing to untangle yourself from the chaos and realize that their version of love is not love at all, but a toxic cycle designed to keep you attached and vulnerable. Are you still up for number 6? Jealousy. Narcissists thrive on creating jealousy and suspicion to keep you off balance and in a state of emotional turmoil. They know that when you're paranoid or unsure, you're emotionally tangled and vulnerable, which is what they want. Narcissists will flirt with others to make you insecure and then accuse you of being too jealous or paranoid. It's a mind game designed to make you doubt your perceptions and feelings. Psychologist Dr. Craig Malkin says narcissists love creating emotional chaos, and jealousy is a favorite tool to keep you focused on them. The worst part is that this creates an environment where you're constantly questioning your feelings and reactions. You might end up apologizing for things you didn't do. It's like living in a constant state of emotional fog, unsure whether your instincts are right, because the narcissist has twisted your perception of reality. They keep you insecure by creating jealousy and doubt. They want to ensure they dominate your thoughts and emotions. Let's keep it moving to number 7. Lack of closure. Have you ever been left hanging, wondering what just happened, with no answers? That's one of the cruelest tactics narcissists use to keep you in emotional chaos, leaving you without closure. They'll cut you off without explaining why, leaving you stuck in a loop of confusion and self-doubt. You're left replaying everything over and over, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. The problem is that you'll never get a straight answer because narcissists don't feel the need to provide closure. Dr. Ramani Durvasula says narcissists are masters of emotional manipulation, who avoid closure, keeping their victims stuck and questioning themselves. This lack of closure isn't just frustrating, it's emotionally crippling. You're left without the peace of understanding what happened why it happened or how to move on. It's a tactic that keeps you tethered to them, as your mind searches for answers that will never come. As psychologist and author Dr. Alexandra Solomon writes, narcissists leave you emotionally adrift, and this emotional limbo is what makes it so hard to heal. Here comes number 8. Exploiting empathy. Have you ever felt like you've given everything to someone, only to be left feeling completely drained? That's one of the narcissist's favorite tricks, exploiting your empathy. They'll use your desire to care and help to get what they want without ever reciprocating. At first, they may seem charming and needy, drawing you in with their stories and a bit of vulnerability to make you feel sorry for them. But over time, you start to feel like you're pouring from an empty cup. Life coach and author Lisa A. Romano describes this dynamic as emotional vampirism, where the narcissist drains your energy without ever giving back. It's emotionally depleting because all they do is take, and you end up feeling more and more empty. They'll use your empathy against you, manipulating you into thinking that you're responsible for their happiness. The worst part is, you get so focused on helping them that you forget to care for yourself. By the time you realize it, you're completely drained, not even realizing how much they've taken. Moving on to number 9. Creating division. Narcissists love creating chaos and division between you and your support system. They'll plant doubts, spread rumors, or manipulate situations to make you question your friends' and family's intentions. Before you know it, you're isolated, left to deal with all your emotions alone. Author George Simon explains that narcissists wield control by dividing and conquering. They create false dependence by pushing you away from the people who could help you see through their manipulation. When you're cut off from your support network, you become emotionally vulnerable and easier to manipulate. The narcissist plays two sides, making you feel unsupported by others while pretending to be your only source of stability. In the end, you're left confused, unsure who to trust, and emotionally lost. Finally, we're down to number 10. Fear of being exposed. Beneath the bravado and charm, narcissists are deeply insecure and fear their image will fall apart. So, they create chaos. When the attention is focused on confusion, arguments, or other distractions, it takes the spotlight off their flaws or vulnerabilities. Narcissist expert Dr. Ramani Durvasula explains that narcissists will do anything to protect their false image by creating turmoil to divert attention away from their true selves. It's all about keeping the focus off their insecurities and onto something else. The narcissist keeps people too distracted to see the cracks in their facade by constantly creating chaos. It's a distraction that works like a charm, leaving you caught up in emotional confusion while they maintain control. Life coach and author Melanie Tonya Evans explains, a narcissist will go to extreme lengths to prevent being seen for who they really are. In the end, the chaos left by a narcissist isn't just a side effect. It's the goal. They thrive on creating confusion, doubt, and emotional turmoil to keep their victims trapped in a constant state of vulnerability. It's their way of maintaining control and feeding their ego. Recognizing this is the first step toward breaking free from their grip. Once you understand the patterns, you can start to regain your power, rebuild your confidence, and find the peace you deserve. The narcissist may have caused the chaos, but it's up to you to create the calm and healing that follows.